Hello, my name is Marcel McDermott, and I just wanted to take you through the QuickBooks project and just give you a little demo on how to get started on that. Looking at the schedule for online principles, you should have completed Chapter 4 on the 25th and 26th. Now that you've worked on a merchandising business, you have the knowledge to begin working on the QuickBooks project. Please note that Chapter 6 is due before the QuickBooks project. It's due on the exam is due on November 11th, and a week later QuickBooks is due. You can certainly do the QuickBooks project in a week's time. It usually takes students somewhere between 4 and 8 hours, depending on how quickly you move through it and how comfortable you are with the software package. Okay, so moving back here for the QuickBooks project, this is the assignment. So when you are completed the project, you're going to upload a copy of a PDF of the balance sheet and the profit and loss statement, which is the income statement. And on the last page of the project, there's some questions that you need to answer based on the information in the transactions. And you're going to upload those three things to this QuickBooks project assignment box. We've got a link to virtual software, which will give you access to the QuickBooks 2011 software package. And the bottom one right here, you want to print this out. These are the detailed step-by-step instructions on how to complete the project. Clicking on the virtual application for a second. This is basically the link from Blackboard. Right here, it's going to take you to the virtual application. And then if you click here for the home computer, you'll see these are the step-by-step instructions on how to place a Citrix receiver onto your home computer. This will allow you to work from home and access the QuickBooks 2011 software without actually having it on your computer system. And when you do that, you're going to get to a folder, and it should just say QuickBooks, and then you want the QuickBooks 2011 software package. Some of you, I'm not sure exactly what it looks like for your screen setup, but you might have two QuickBooks on there. One is 2013, and the other one just says QuickBooks. Make sure you select the one that's not 2013. Okay, this is the right software package you want, and when you click on that, it's going to look, where is it? It's going to look like this. Okay, and if you take the instructions, if you flip to page 7, we start working on the setup for the project. So if you look on page 7, it says from this screen you want to click on create a new company, and we click on create a new company, and then on the bottom of page 7 it says start interview. We're going to start the interview. Okay, the company name is going to be, I'm just going to put my name in there. That's going to be the incorporated. Okay, my tax ID, if I flip to page 8, they're going to tell me what my tax ID is. Of course I flipped too far. 99-2345678. Okay. Street address, 123 Main Street, Appleton, Wisconsin. Okay, then I hit next. This is a very important step right here. If you don't do this step right, you could have to start over. You're looking for a type of industry. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 up from the bottom, retail, shop, or online commerce. That's the industry type that you need to select for these transactions for this project. If you don't select those, you're not going to have the right chart of accounts, and you're not going to be able to complete the project, and you'll have to start over again. So you can see early on that it's very important to follow the instructions to the letter. Hit my next box. How is the company organized? Sole proprietorship. Next. The first month is going to be in January. next. Do not create a password. Just hit next. Going to page 9, and we're going to now create the company files. Okay. And to save it, you want to make sure that you select your My Documents, and then you want to scroll down to your name, which is, let's see here, Marcel McDermott, My Documents, and that's where I'm going to save the file. Okay, I'm going to hit next, and it's important that you save it there because that way there you'll always be able to get the information. Okay, so I'm just letting go. It's doing its thing. It's creating the files. Put the mouse down. Don't get click happy like me, because you'll find sometimes it'll lock up on you. And it's already done that to me once today already. Okay, and now we have to do a bunch of things here. So products only, next. Record each sale individually, next. And again, I'm reading right down on page 9. Charge sales tax, yes. Do we want to do estimates? No. Tracking orders, yes. Billing statements, yes. And progress billing, no. Progress invoicing, no. Do you want to keep track of bills you owe? Yes. And do you want to track inventory in QuickBooks? Absolutely yes. And do we want to track time in QuickBooks? No. Do we have any employees? No. Okay. Beginning of the year is going to be January 1st. So we click the first one. So beginning of the fiscal year is January 1st, 2014. And now on the bottom of page 9, it says you will start tracking finances at the beginning of the current year, January 1st. Review your income and expense accounts and make sure you have the following accounts. Merchandise income, merchandise sales we have, sales discounts we have, purchase discounts, which is right here. It's not checked, so we have to check that one. And then we need to scroll down, all the way down to rent expense, and rent expense is checked. And if we look, it says for remove the check mark besides uniforms by clicking on it. So we don't have uniforms because we don't have employees, and since we're the only employee, we don't want to wear uniforms. So how about that? Alright, so we're going to hit next, and we're going to go to setup. So now moving from page 9 to page 10, and on the top of page 10 we are going to use the setup screen. We're going to add a bank account. So bank accounts right here. We're going to add the bank account, and it's going to be Wisconsin State Bank. The account number is 097523610. Opening balance is going to be 0. And select date, I'm going to select January 1st because that's the date. I got to go all the way back to January. That's the date we need. I'm going to hit continue. We don't want to, since it's not a real company, we don't want them to print checks for us, so we're going to say no thanks, hit continue, and then now we've added our bank account, we're going to click start working. And we can get rid of this little thing here, just close that out, maximize that, and I'm just going to kind of close out these other things here. Okay, alright, so we've basically gone through a quick setup of the QuickBooks project, went through the interview step by step by step. The next things you're going to do are you're going to add the customers, you're going to add the vendors, you're going to add the products, you're going to modify the chart of accounts a little bit on page 11, and then when you get to, you're going to enter some customer information, and then you're going to enter some inventory items, and then on page 16 you're going to get to some transactions. Okay, you've got to do all that setup on the next 3 or 4 pages, and just make sure you go slow when you do that. Again, this isn't a hard project, but it's always a better idea to read it a couple times, make sure you know what you're doing before you kind of leap, and again, go slow because it can be confusing. You probably want to do it at a time where it's not crazy at your household, and you've got a little bit of quiet time. You probably want to work on this project in increments of a couple of hours, and when you are finishing up a section, you want to mark clearly what you completed last, so that you know where to start up again. It's you don't want to enter the same transaction twice. By the same respect, you don't want to skip a transaction because you couldn't remember exactly where you ended off. One other thing I want to talk about is the transaction information is very detailed in the beginning, but as you go through the project, we give you less and less information. So it's a good idea for you to refer back to the first time you had a sales transaction, the first time you had a purchase of inventory, the first time that you had a cash deposit, because those detailed instructions are in there. They're just not there towards the end. And I've seen some students do this in a 3-4 hour time period. But again, you don't necessarily want to rush through this. You want to make sure that you kind of go through this step by step and make sure you handle all the right things. Okay. Anyways, so that's the project, and again, you need to complete chapter 6 before that. But again, if you have some extra time, it's probably not a bad idea to do the project. Thanks so much.